In this video, we're going to explain the fastest way to grow your gym in 2026, and it's probably not what you expect. It's not some magic formula and it's not going to happen overnight. We're going to talk key principles to grow your business long-term sustainably and attract the right clients. I'm Lewis. I own 2 gyms and I'm completely remote. I've lived abroad for the past year. I've grown and scaled these facilities over the last 4 years without me actually being there. And the way I've done it is through what I'm going to talk about today. I'm now working with over 40 gym owners, helping them do the exact same, create a life of more freedom, more money, and actually helping more people get into health and fitness. Currently, we've signed up almost 800 people to gyms through Gym Grow, my business helping gym owners, and the goal is to get to 10,000 in the next 12 months. So let's get into it. Here's the fastest way to grow your gym in 2026. It all starts by creating good social media presence. So let's start with the brand. Why is it important to have a brand, and what does it even mean to have a brand? Well, if you've not got a brand, the issue you're going to face is less people are going to understand who you are and less attention is going to be pushed towards you, but also you're not going to attract the right people to your gym. It's more likely you're going to attract the wrong people and the sign-up process is going to be a lot more difficult and you're not going to create the business that you want. So when we say brand, what actually is a brand? What does that mean? Well, it's the pairing of 2 things. When we think of getting branded, like a cow being branded, they've been marked with a specific logo. It's the same thing here with your gym. What do we want to be known for and what do we not want to be known for? Because both of these things are really important. If we get this wrong, the likelihood of attracting the right people is really difficult. And if we don't actually do anything, we're probably not going to stand out and attract clients. The way I like to think of it is this. So if over here we've got an extreme, and on the other side of this graph we've got another extreme, if we're caught in the middle, average, this doesn't stand out. This is very normal. We're not really appealing to any sort of audience. It's just what everyone else is doing. Whereas if we can stand out on either side and create something that we're for and against, we're going to attract people and push people away, which is what we want. That is niching down and standing for something so people are attracted or repelled by it. So if we can get to these positions here, this is where we want to be. Now, how do we do that? Well, we have to decide what we're for and what we're against. It's no good just being straight down the middle, boring, and not having values and an ethos, because ultimately that's what you'll be promoting inside of your gym. We also want to attract the right people to it. If you want to sign up clients easily and not feel like you're constantly selling to them, they need to become aware of who you are and want to start with you. Well, if we're not driving that through our organic social media, it's going to be really difficult to do this. So if we take a funnel and we look at it as like at the top of this funnel, we have awareness. The bottom of the funnel, we have a sale. So someone who's converted as a member to your gym. And here we have consideration, someone actually considering to work with you. Well, the more people that become aware of you and come into this funnel, the more people are going to consider to work with you and the more members you're actually going to sign. So this is amazing for getting more signups, generating more revenue and being able to put back into the business. Now, if we're in this position here of average, boring, down the middle, or maybe we don't actually have an organic social media, well, it's going to make it really difficult to create more awareness and get more eyeballs to widen the net and get more people involved in this funnel. Because the more people that enter this funnel, the more sales that we end up with. Now, awareness doesn't always equal more conversions. Awareness doesn't equal more signups to your gym. The phrase I absolutely love is people who don't know you can't buy from you. Meaning you have to create awareness for people to know you exist and purchase from you. But how do we stand out? Well, we need to look at exactly what we're for and what we're against. So let's say you have a group training facility like I do. As a group training facility, you're probably for community, you're probably for group training, you're probably not massively for solo training because it's against your business model and potentially against your values. So let's say as an example, you're really for group training. Well, then we should be against solo training. Now, some of you may think, well, I'm not really against solo training, but my main model is group training. Why should I ever be against solo training? Well, if we're not against things and we don't have a stance against the thing that we don't want, well, again, we're not really going to stand out as much as if we did. And you'll see what I mean in an example in a second. Let's also say that we're for putting the work in. So work ethic. So we're for work ethic and we don't want lazy people. Now, through this, we can start using this messaging in our organic social media to attract the right people. So when we look at group training, we can say that, yes, we're really for group training, but we're actually really against solo training. We can use the marketing technique called throwing rocks. This is a really clever technique, originally brought about by Russell Brunson, who is an exceptional marketer, and it essentially means create enemies and create issues with views that oppose yours. So how you could do this is through solo training. So we could say the problem with solo training is that you've not got a supportive group around you. So when you feel like giving up halfway through your workout, it's really easy to. As opposed to in group training, which we believe in, you've got a supportive community of athletes around you who are going to push you to finish your workout. So straight away, by saying what we're against, it makes it really easy to push problems to that and position ourselves as the solution. We can also use analogies in our messaging as well. So it's kind of like playing a football match where you're one player versus an entire team. Well, it's going to be really hard to beat the entire team because you're only one person. So using analogies is really great in your messaging to get your point across. When you're able to consistently do this in your organic social media, you're going to, one, create more attention. And as we've already seen here, that's great for us because more awareness and more attention and more eyeballs results in more sales, or at least a higher chance of sales. And also it's going to call out to your ideal customer more than just generic marketing. Just showing pictures and videos of your gym isn't going to stand out to people. It's just going to show that you have a facility, but what do you stand for and what do you stand against? You want people who are looking for group training or want to be informed about the benefits of group training as opposed to solo training. You want people who've got a good work ethic instead of people who are lazy. You could say something like this: we don't want to work with lazy people because lazy people don't want to put in the effort and achieve the results that our members are working so hard to achieve. We're about putting the effort in because we go the extra mile as coaches to make sure that you achieve these goals, and we want to work with people who achieve that. And just by calling that out in your messaging, you're much more likely to get people who are more interested in your ethos and values, and will be a lot easier when it comes to signing them up because they already know who you are and what you're about, and they want to get involved with that. Now, this of course is all organic social media. When we get this right and then pair it with paid adverts, that is a game changer. It's literally like a natural athlete taking steroids. Like, the results are obviously going to be way better. They've got a massive enhancement. And it's the same when you add paid adverts. Paid adverts without organic social media are always going to struggle because, yes, okay, we can pay for people to see media put in front of them, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to convert, and it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to want to join. If we can have an organic social media that calls out a specific client, and then we leverage paid adverts to put an offer in their face, the likelihood of signups is going to be so much higher. Across the 47 gyms that I'm currently working with, we've measured the results of the paid adverts that we're implementing for them, and the ones who are posting more regular organic content and the organic content we've deemed as better, their paid ads are performing considerably better than the gyms that aren't using organic content and are just relying on paid ads. We need to be utilizing organic social media to get the best results to grow your gym. When we use paid adverts, we want to use a front-end offer, or an offer which gets someone signed up to your gym for a set period of time, i.e. it has a start date and an end date. Now, I've talked a lot about this in my other videos, but essentially the reason being, it's a lot easier to sign someone up for a set period of time because we can have outcome-based results by the end of the 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, wherever the time may be. And it also gives people a lot more of an incentive to stick around longer term because within those 4, 6, 8 weeks, you've got a lot more chance to upsell them or convince them that your gym and your business is the place to be at. Whereas if we don't use a front end offer with a set time frame, well, it's going to be really hard to sign someone up long term. Maybe they come for a free trial session or a trial week, but is that enough time to get the results? I'd argue not, and that's been my experience. The other great thing about using an offer like this is to have it as a paid offer, a paid trial, a paid 4 weeks, and then we can use that money that we collect from the front end program and reinvest it back into more ads. And then this whole system will scale and it will work as like a flywheel effect. The more money we spend on ads, the more signups we can get, and we can pump that money back into more ads. When you're running ads, it's important to understand what ROAS means. ROAS is literally return on ad spend, meaning for every £1 spent, how much do you get back in return from signups? So if we had a ROAS of 1, that would mean that for every pound spent, we would get £1 back in signups. On average, with the gyms I'm working with and my own gyms, we've got an average of around 10 return on ad spend, meaning that for every £1 spent, you will get £10 back in return. Or if you spend £1,000 on ads, you'll get £10,000 back in signups. And I know what you're thinking. Well, this system probably doesn't work for me. And if you'd have told me this 4 years ago when I first started, when I was literally sleeping under the stairs, doing all the coaching, all the cleaning, and everything myself, I would have said, I don't believe a system like this works. But I'm here doing it with my own gyms, now moved abroad, living abroad whilst my gyms grow. And I've also done it with countless others and getting results for them. And the reason how we're able to do this so successfully is not just paid ads. There's a lot of different steps that go into it, like the right offer, the follow-up system, making sure that the speed to lead is incredibly fast, making sure that there's a well thought out onboarding program to not only get those people signed up to the front end program, but also sign them up long term so they remain a customer way into the future, and contract them into like a 12-month commitment is what system that we like to use. So when you've got a good return on ad spend and an amazing way to get more members onboarded and into your business, and you pair all the things I talked about to creating this, that is where you can start looking to invest in your team and your business so that you can start stepping away and creating freedom for yourself. So when you pair a strong front-end program with an irresistible offer, a fast follow-up system, and I have a structured onboarding program, plus a sales system that actually converts. The system I use is called the smooth sign-up system, meaning that the prospects actually sell themselves to you. Well, when you pair all these things together, that is when you're going to get a really positive return on ad spend. And for every pound spent, you're going to get multiples back in return. This is when you can start generating revenue for your business, signing more people up, investing in the coaches, investing in the team that's going to grow the business for you without you actually there. Because let's be honest, even if you build the gym of your dreams and you've got all of these people come in, you can't do that on your own. That is just a road to burnout. You might get more leads, you might get more signups, you might get more members, you might get all these customers, but now you've got more customers to serve. And that's a problem, because when are you meant to take a holiday and how are you meant to take a break? You're never going to be able to do that without building the team. And that is where we implement the systems and KPIs for all of our staff to follow so that they can grow the business without me there. And the way you're going to do this is by literally laying out step by step, like a simple recipe for every system or process that happens in your business. This will be key for you to step away. So to recap, the fastest way to grow your gym in 2026 is by creating a brand. It's standing out from the crowd, it's creating awareness so you're going to get more sales. People who do not know you cannot buy from you. You need to have clear brand values of what you're for and what you're against. And you need to stand out. Organic social media is going to be incredibly important here. And when we pair this with paid ads, well, that's when things skyrocket. Having a clear offer in your ad is super important, and a front-end program with a start date and an end date, again, absolute winner. When we start getting this system rolling, you're going to create more money to invest more into ads and generate more revenue for the business. You want to get a positive return on ad spend, and you're going to do this through implementing the front-end program with an irresistible offer, having a fast follow-up system, and a structured onboarding system with a clear sales system. If you want all of this implemented into your business, done for you, and coached on how to do this specific to your gym, click the link below and book a call with myself or my team. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.